If you thought the jobs report and the economic numbers we got on Friday were bad, then you haven't seen anything yet. Because as bad as all of the economic indicators are in this country, there are still some economic numbers that are even worse than that. And those, of course, are the economic numbers coming out of the Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social and their new streaming platform, Truth Plus, a company that Donald Trump owns because he holds 52% of the stock. They released their second quarter earnings report on Friday, right when everybody was distracted by the horrible jobs numbers. Trump Media and Technology came along and basically said, "You think that's bad? Hold my beer. Look at this." In the second quarter of this year, the Trump Media and Technology Group had operating losses of $20 million and revenue of just $883,000, operating losses of $20 million in 3 months. This happened as they launched their new streaming service. So, here's a new product people have to pay for, and it fell flat completely. They lost money. Meanwhile, Truth Social remains the only platform Donald Trump uses to communicate with the public as a whole. He's not using Twitter, he's not using Facebook, he's exclusively using Truth Social. So if you want his content, you have to get it from there. His posts, or truths, are in the news almost every day, and even with all of that free publicity, they still lost $20 million. Nothing Trump can do is going to save this failing, stupid, redundant company that was never needed in the first place. Here's where it gets funnier, though. You see, the Trump Media and Technology Group does have a lot of cash on hand, so their losses would have been even greater if not for people in the company dipping into that cash reserve. But they weren't using it to make their own company better. They weren't using it to create content for their streaming service. Instead, they took that money, $2 billion of the company's funds, and you know what they did? They bought Bitcoin. That actually gave them some money, so they took all of their assets, not income, assets, and basically behaved like a struggling company going to Las Vegas and saying, "I'm going to put it all on black." And they won. But in this case, they didn't go to Vegas. They went to the stock market and said, "We're going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, $2 billion worth." It did make them a little money. So if they hadn't done that, that $20 million loss would have been far greater. The only way Trump Media and Technology Group can be profitable is if they take their own money and invest it into things that are actually profitable, because there is no market for this pile of garbage that Donald Trump created. This company, of course, is being run by Devin Nunes, who doesn't know his head from a hole in the ground. But the company is dying. The only thing keeping it alive right now is the fact that they put a bunch of money into Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin crashes, they're done. They will have no money because they put it all into Bitcoin. So, that's a risky gamble. I hope it doesn't pay off for them.